Welcome back to Coin Explorer. Have you ever reached into your pocket, pulled out a handful of loose change, and wondered if one of those tiny copper discs could actually change your life forever? Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of numismatics to talk about a coin that looks ordinary but carries an extraordinary legacy, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny. In an era where the world was gripped by the chaos of World War II, the United States Mint was producing millions of these cents, unaware that decades later, a select few would become the holy grail for collectors. Most people see a dirty brown coin and spend it on a piece of gum, but for those with a trained eye, that same coin could represent a massive financial windfall. In this video, we aren't just talking about spare change, we are talking about a piece of American history that has reached staggering valuations at auction. Join us as we uncover why the 1942 penny is suddenly the talk of the town and what you need to look for before you head to the bank. To understand the value of this coin, we must first transport ourselves back to the year 1942. The United States had just entered World War II, and every resource, especially copper, was becoming vital for the military effort to create shell casings and wiring. This was the final full year that the U.S. Mint produced pennies with a 95% copper composition before switching to zinc-coated steel in 1943 to save metal for the war. Because 1942 was a transition period for the nation's economy and industry, the coins minted during this time carry a unique wartime energy. Collectors are drawn to 1942 pennies because they represent the last of the traditional pre-war copper cents. When you hold a 1942 penny, you are holding a relic from a time of global sacrifice and industrial might. This historical significance is the primary engine that drives the demand for these coins, making them much more than just a piece of currency. The visual appeal of the 1942 Lincoln penny is rooted in its timeless design, featuring the obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner. Originally introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, this portrait is the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history. On the reverse, we see the iconic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, a design that symbolizes the agricultural strength and abundance of the nation. The 1942 strike is known for having a particularly sharp aesthetic when found in high grades, with Lincoln's hair details and the wheat lines appearing crisp and distinct. For a collector, the aesthetic beauty of a well-preserved 1942 penny is unmatched as the copper develops a rich, lustrous patina over 80 years. Understanding these design elements is crucial because the quality of the strike often determines whether a coin is worth a few cents or thousands of dollars. Now, let's address the headline that everyone is talking about, the potential value of up to $242,000. It sounds unbelievable, but in the high-stakes world of coin auctions, rarity and perfection command a massive premium. When we mention a figure like $242,000, we are referring to a very specific, ultra-rare specimen that has been certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. This kind of value is reserved for coins in mint state 67 red or higher, meaning the coin looks exactly as it did the second it was minted in 1942, with no scratches, no wear, and its original fiery red copper glow. While the average 1942 penny in your drawer might be worth a small amount, the existence of these top-tier survivors proves that there is a top-tier market where collectors will pay the price of a luxury home for a single cent. It's the lottery ticket of the coin world, and it's why people spend hours searching through old jars of change. In the numismatic community, the condition or grade is the absolute king of value. A coin that has been passed around in pockets for years will lose its fine details, and its value will drop significantly. Grading is measured on a scale of 1 to 70, and for a 1942 penny to reach elite status, it must be in the 65 to 68 range. A mint state coin is one that never entered circulation, meaning it was likely tucked away in a bankroll or a private collection immediately after being struck. We must emphasize that you should never, under any circumstances, clean your coins to make them look better. Cleaning creates microscopic scratches that professional graders can spot instantly, and it can ruin a coin's value by up to 90%. If you find a 1942 penny that looks unusually shiny or sharp, keep it in a soft cloth or a plastic holder and consult a professional before touching the surface with your fingers. Beyond just the condition, what really sends the price of a 1942 penny into the stratosphere are mint errors and varieties. The most sought-after variety for this year is the double die obverse, or DDO. This happens when the hub strikes the die twice at slightly different angles, creating a doubled appearance on the lettering or the date. If you look closely at the 1942 or the word Liberty through a magnifying glass and see a faint overlapping shadow or thickness, you might have found a rare variety. There are also proof versions of the 1942 penny, which were specially struck for collectors with a mirror-like finish. Only about 32,000 proofs were made that year, making them significantly rarer than the millions of business strike coins. Identifying these subtle differences is like being a detective. The smaller the detail, the bigger the potential payout in the collector market. The market for rare coins has seen a massive surge in interest over the last few years, with more investors looking for tangible assets to protect their wealth. 1942 pennies are always in demand because the wheat cent series is the most popular starting point for new collectors. When a high-grade 1942 penny hits the auction block at a major firm like Heritage Auctions, it attracts attention from wealthy investors worldwide. These auctions are the true proving grounds for a coin's value, where bidding wars can drive prices far beyond the estimated catalog values. The $242,000 benchmark is a testament to the fact that rarity is a diminishing resource. As time goes on, fewer perfect 1942 pennies remain in existence. This scarcity, combined with a growing global community of collectors, ensures that the 1942 Lincoln cent remains a blue-chip investment in the world of rare collectibles. How to verify authenticity? With high values comes the unfortunate reality of counterfeits and altered coins. Because a 1942 penny can be worth so much, some people try to create errors or artificially enhance the color of a common coin to trick buyers. To verify your coin, the first step is weighing it. A genuine 1942 copper penny should weigh approximately 3.11 grams. If it's significantly lighter or heavier, it might be a fake or a different metal altogether. You should also check the mint mark located just below the date. Coins with no mark were made in Philadelphia, while an S stands for San Francisco and a D for Denver. Each mint has its own rarity levels and specific strike characteristics. Always remember that if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Professional authentication is the only way to be 100% sure that your 1942 penny is the real deal and potentially worth a fortune. It is very important for us to maintain a realistic perspective while discussing these incredible values. While it is true that a 1942 penny has the potential to be worth $242,000, it is also true that 99.9% of the 1942 pennies found in circulation today are worth about 5 cents to $1. Our goal with this video is to educate you on what makes a coin elite so you don't accidentally spend a masterpiece. We are not financial advisors, and coin values can fluctuate based on market trends and buyer interest. Think of this as a treasure hunt. The fun is in the search and the learning process. Whether your coin is worth a few cents or enough to buy a house, the historical value of a 1942 penny is something every enthusiast can appreciate. Knowledge is your greatest tool in this hobby, and being informed is the best way to enjoy the world of coin collecting safely. As we wrap up our deep dive into the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny, we hope you've gained a new appreciation for the humble cent. It's amazing to think that a tiny piece of copper from the 1940s could hold so much history, mystery, and potential wealth. Now we want to hear from you. Do you have a collection of wheat pennies tucked away in a closet? Have you ever found a 1942 penny that looked a bit different from the rest? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing about your finds and helping you identify your treasures. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare coins, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love history or collectibles. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dive